Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining us on this latest installment in the SportsDirect Gaelic4Mothers&Others webinar series. I am delighted this evening to be joined by two very special guests, and I'm delighted that they have taken the time from their busy schedules to come on to tell us their stories and to discuss their paths to the programme. So as I look at the screen, on my top left, we have Sam Donegan. Sam is from St. John's Volunteers Club in Wexford. And we have on my bottom of my screen, I have Sylvia O'Brien, who is from Wolf Tones in Clare. So if you want to just give us a wave there, ladies.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone.
So we are going to discuss this evening, as is referenced there, different paths to the program. And the two guests that I have on with me on this webinar have had two very different journeys to the program. And I suppose the very important part of that to remember for us is that at some point they'll be playing on the same pitch potentially at one of our provincial or our national festivals. And hopefully by the end of this webinar, we'll be able to compare and contrast the two journeys that they've had. And it might give you a bit of reflection on your own group and hopefully be able to acknowledge and to identify that different people have had different paths to the program and different people take part for the specific My Reason Why, which is obviously our slogan that we've attached to the program. Different people take part in the program for different reasons. So I am going to let Sam just do a quick intro to her for herself. So Sam, if you wouldn't mind just giving us a quick intro. Sam's camera is frozen there. So Sylvia, actually, we'll jump down to you. Oh, Sam is back. Can you hear me, Sam?
Sorry, yeah, it's really unstable internet here. Do you want to just tell me about, shall I just start on about my journey into the Vols?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. So actually, do you know what? We'll start off with your early experiences of sport. So Sam, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a bit of a background as to where you're from and your early experiences of sport, where you're originally from.
Okay, so I'm originally from Hatfield in Hertfordshire in England, just on the cusp of North London. So obviously it's a very sporty place. A lot of the Premier footballers live where we are. But in school, it was predominantly kind of netball. And we had a fantastic PE teacher. So we would do like gymnastics, lacrosse, tennis. So every few weeks we would try a bit thing. But I wasn't exactly sporty, to be honest with you. I think I enjoyed the larking around a bit more. I didn't mind the cross country, but I wasn't overly sporty. But there was always sport in all the hospitals that I'd work in. Netball was always kind of a big thing. But then I come over here and then things changed really.
Of course, you referenced there netball, something that I would have experienced in my own time studying in the UK. The amount of transferable skills from netball to ladies Gaelic football are incredible.
Oh, most definitely. Apart from my coaches always shout, "You're not playing netball today." Because automatically when you get the ball, you just automatically do a netball pass instead of a Gaelic pass. But they are transferable. Every skill is transferable.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sam, just in terms of then your own gravitation towards the Gaelic4Mothers&Others program and ladies Gaelic football as well. So you moved across the water then?
Yep, in 2008, I moved over to Wexford.
Okay, 2008. And you were telling me when we were discussing during the week that your husband and your household are predominantly small ball orientated.
Yeah, big into hurling. Even when we lived in England, if we went to one of the clubs to watch, it would always be hurling. Wouldn't be Gaelic football. He really wasn't interested in it. So I particularly didn't have an interest in it. I didn't really know the rules. My boys had played Gaelic, but I still didn't really understand it. I think I was more interested chatting, to be honest, in the social bit. But yeah, it would predominantly be hurling. And actually, I did initially prefer watching hurling. It's a much more faster sport. I understood the rules. I would have turned off Gaelic if I'd seen it on TV.
Okay. And of course, then the Gaelic4Mothers&Others program landed on your lap, and how did you first hear about that program?
Yeah, I actually first saw it via Facebook. So I actually then took a screenshot of it, and it sat on my phone for weeks and weeks. And it was like, should I, shouldn't I? I wasn't very fit really at that time. So it was just out of the blue. I thought, right, if I don't phone now, I'm not going to do it. So I actually phoned and actually spoke to one of the coaches, Jim McCarthy, who was fabulous. So he said, don't worry, girl, come on down. So I did go on down, apart from I left home perhaps about half hour before it even started. And I drove the long way round, decided to come home, went back again. And then I got to the pitch, and it was like, I had like two little devils. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? But Jim said he'd look out for me. So I just thought, oh, I'm really going to have to get out my car now. And I did, and I got out the car, and Jim was there waiting for me and to introduce me to some of the girls. And I've actually never looked back. But it was just doing that first step. Didn't know anybody, but the best thing I ever done.
And I suppose
but
when we were
just making that step,
and like, I mean, when we were discussing this during the week, you know, and we were kind of laughing, saying the battle with the brain. And I suppose Jim was, you had the devil on one shoulder, but Jim was your angel on your other shoulder.
Oh, he was, because he said he'd look out for me, he'd wait for me, and there he was. He was great. But brilliant. I must admit, my first session, I was really unfit. I only managed perhaps 10 minutes out of the hour. But, you know, nobody took any part, so I was able to come and go, and it's very inclusive. And I went back the next week and the week after.
You're still there.
And I'm still there, 2 and a bit years. I'm still there, and they're never going to get rid of me now.
Sylvia, we'll if we wouldn't mind jumping across across the island to you, to Clare.
Here in windy County Clare.
One of my favourite spots. Both of you are actually from two of my favourite spots in the country. But Sylvia, you again have had a very, very different journey to the programme.
Yeah.
And I suppose what I want to do is ask you maybe the same question. And I'm imagining that we're going to get a very, very different answer. So what was your early life like in your early sporting journey? And, you know, what, you know, how did you manage to arrive at the program?
Yeah, so I suppose I grew up on the pitches. So I played predominantly camogie, but football also at a county level. For a good few years, I was a dual player. But I was mainly a camogie player, and that was my first love. But the team that we're from, Wolf Tones and Shannon, didn't have a football team when we were growing up. So I came to it kind of late, you know. But when we did get a team, you know, we were all, you know, we were a junior team and we were winning matches and we were really enjoying it. So the camogie team weren't too happy then because we were missing training sessions and having to do 2 matches in one day. But we battled and we managed it, and we all loved it because it was kind of more relaxed for us than the camogie was quite serious back then, because we were very, very good camogie team. So football was a little bit more relaxed and we enjoyed it. And like back then, I think we would have played anything that was with a ball. So it was just what we grew up with. We just knew no different. We just played sport, and, you know, we loved it. But so it wasn't a big transition either the first day. And the girls in the club to bring in the mothers and others. And, you know, they just asked people would they come down for the first night. So I was kind of thinking that, okay, I'll go down and show a face because, you know, maybe 4 people or 5 people would turn up, you know, so it'd be nice to kind of show a face there. But there was like 20 or 30 girls, and it has now grown to, I'd say there's over 50 girls there. Like you get lost in amongst them now at this stage. There's so many. So it's great to see it.
And you have had some serious successes at intercounty level. Do you mind talking us through in both codes?
So in camogie we have, you know, for our club we have won 7 championship medals. And for a lot of people, you know, when I say this at football training, they don't even know what championship medals are. You know, it's really bizarre. You know, they're going, what? Are you a professional? Like, no. You know, and then at county level, we've won All Irelands with Clare. So I have 2 junior All Irelands with Clare. And actually Clare have won 3 junior All Irelands, but I opted out of one of them to play Gaelic football for Clare on the same year because there was a clash of matches. So I picked the football because the football was a senior league final and they were being played on the same weekend. So I opted out of the camogie that year to play the football. But we weren't successful, unfortunately. But we did have successful times. We won plenty of matches and we done well at senior level with football, which was great. We just didn't get past the semi-finals or get to the finals in Croke Park, unfortunately. But yeah,
there's very few that do, and it's I suppose that's why when people actually get there, the privilege of it is incredible. I suppose with
absolutely,
the likes of ourselves in mind, that'll never get to kick a football on the hollow turf. And if you don't mind, Sylvia, I'll just stay with you for a second. How did you find then the transition from playing two Gaelic sports at a really high level, at the highest level, being super competitive, being super successful? Was there any issues parking that? Was there, or does it just feel different, so you automatically slide into a non-competitive mode?
You think you slide in. I think the fact that I was gone for a good few years, I've retired, I'm probably 15 years out of it at this stage, maybe more. So it was probably like going back, to different crowd. And a lot of the girls that are doing it, I don't know. They wouldn't know the Sylvia O'Brien, the camogie player, or the Gaelic footballer. So it's a new transition, really. But I did find that the first couple of training sessions, I had to hold back a small bit. I think the girls were naming their bruises after me, at one stage. So the first blitz we had was just amongst ourselves. And in fairness to the two girls, Anya and Leah, they're very well organised and they plan it very, very well. But we had our first blitz and I scored a couple of goals and, damaged a few people and a few bruises. And the next day, that evening, I said, geez, I could still be playing, this is great. And until the following morning, and I couldn't walk down the stairs. I was so sore. I was bruised all over. I was sore. Oh gosh, it was funny. So I went, oh no, really, Gaelic4Mothers is as far as I'm going.
Sam, we're going to jump back to you, and I suppose a similar question, but in terms of embedding yourself within the group, from somebody who had come from a background of not playing ladies Gaelic football or any Gaelic games before, what were your experiences like of that?
Well, obviously they had to teach me literally the basics, from hand passing to solos to even some of the rules. And I think I even put a bit of rugby in there at sometimes. I remember flying out on the fire exit doors when we were inside training when I went to tackle somebody, because I just really didn't have a clue. Sometimes I still don't have a clue. But it is that training. But even then, my boys then wanted to train me as well. So they would give me, like my brother-in-law gave us some Gaelic balls to train with. So my boys would give me a hand out, and even at training, like our kids would come on along as well and help us out. But it's just all about practice and having fun and laughing. That's what it is all about. Monday nights for me is about fitness, of course, but fun and laughter and learning them skills and repeating them skills. And no training session is the same, I must admit. I haven't been to any boring training session. Everything's really different.
Yeah.
And the coaches are great. Our coaches, Jim and Rory, I must admit, I must give a big shout out to them, because they are the most patient chaps ever, I must admit. And obviously I'm English, but it's different nationalities on our teams, It's very multicultural. It's all about getting the community involved. So that's great as well, because there's other people there who's never played it before as well. And I'm not the oldest, I'm in my 50s, and I'm not the oldest lady on the team either, which is really nice.
And Sam, you were saying that there's an initiative that's going to be commencing in your Gaelic4Mothers&Others group in the next few weeks.
Yes, they're really about getting all the community involved. So our training session on Monday was cancelled, but there's some ladies from one of our local direct provision centres that are going to come along and train with us as well. So it is very inclusive. It's all about getting the community involved, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Sylvia, I'm going to come back to you on this one. In terms of, your status, I suppose, within the group. And I suppose you referenced that there in terms of a lot of the players not knowing Sylvia, the
No.
inter-county footballer, inter-county camogie player. Is there would there be sometimes some players who would approach you for maybe a bit of advice on how to play, or is there any coaching going on within your sessions, or do you just go and play and enjoy the sessions for yourself, or how does that work? Is there
No, I just go and enjoy them. The two girls that are doing the training are players at the moment, so like they give all the guidance and the goals. I just go to have a laugh, and it's great crack. It's just pure fun. Most of it is kind of game related, and then they throw in the drills in with the games. There's normally a match near the end, and it's just really, really good fun. You don't have to worry about the skills, and you kind of might encourage them. I might say to them, make sure you're hand passing it, not just, throwing it.
Yeah.
I might tell them a few things like that. But in fairness, they're very, very good. And they've came on so much since they started, a couple of months ago. Even in the few weeks, you can see the progression. Yeah, I don't get there often enough because I'm still involved coaching teams. But any night I do go, it's just real good crack and fun. And some of them even have their kids with them, and their kids are playing together, and there's a lot of that, so it's great. So I don't really need to tell them anything. They're really progressing, and they're doing very, very well with the girls.
And I think the team that we're seeing there from both of you with your last two answers there, that getting somebody who gets the ethos of the program and understands what it is as your coach is probably the key, isn't it?
That's the most important thing.
Because without a doubt, yeah,
absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah, because even when the girls are explaining things, like there's no shush, you need to listen, or there's people can be having chats or conversations in the background, or I like that part where it's not serious. They're all out for their hour away from their kids, or whatever it is, just to get out of the house for the hour. And they don't want somebody saying to them, you need to be able to do it like this, or kick it like this, or
And this is what I like about as well, Sylvia, is there's no right or wrong way. If you make a mistake, nobody says a word. You just carry on, you laugh, and you just learn that skill as you go along.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be perfect at all, which is
that's
great.
Exactly it. And when I travel to festivals, be that provincial festivals or the national festival, and the atmosphere is incredibly jovial, and you could be walking by a pitch, and there might be a participant there who you can see that they've never played before, and they go to hand pass a ball and they miss it, and it looks like a throw, and you do have the other team putting a hand up going, ref, come on, that's a throw, and the ref will turn and go, was it?
Well, I can remember my first time on a match. I got the ball, and it was like I was celebrating. I got the ball, I got possession. It was like, yeah. Then it was like, God, what am I going to do with it? And it was like the girls were saying, pass, you can do it. And then I remember my first match, my boys were there. When I actually got a score, I think the whole of Wexford must have heard the cheers go up, which is something so simple for somebody like Sylvia, who's so used to it. But for somebody like myself, who'd never scored before, and I celebrated. I think I celebrated for the whole week after, to be honest, because it was fabulous. But not only I celebrated, my team celebrated, the team we were playing celebrated, because they knew what it was like to be able to get the possession and get your first point or goal or score. It's just amazing.
And Sam, if you don't mind me just stay with you for a second on that one, and it's a point that Sylvia made there, that she's involved in the coaching in her club, and it's probably something that we didn't really touch on in our conversations in the week, was either yourself or members of the group, are they involved in other strands of the club, or
Yes. So a lot of them, some of the people who come back to play Gaelic4Mothers&Others had gone on and left us and gone on to Junior B, but lots of them are coaching, not only in our team but on other teams as well. And we do lots of community work as well. So Jim, one of our trainers, had set up an all-star. So it was like a 4-week program for children with autism. So lots of us go and help out there. And obviously we've just had the big music fest, the traditional festival here. So lots of us would have helped out at the site. So lots of us help out at the little ones. So there's always something going on. We're always giving a hand out, which is great because the club is so good to us. It's nice to give back, feel supportive as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Sylvia, just in terms of your own coaching, and people from your group and your team who are involved in different strands of the club, just give us a bit of information around that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I train the 14 camogie team, so I'm
Wow.
still involved with them. I don't train football at the moment, but there is a lot of the girls on the team that are involved in various aspects of the club, you know, where it would be training little ones, or maybe, you know, they would be former rugby players, soccer players, Gaelic football players themselves who just came back into it. So they all have something to do with the club, you know, in some little way. Most of them, I'd say, would be parents of the kids who are playing. A lot of them are, you know, so, and we have a great facility down there. We have lovely astroturf and stuff. So, you know, it's kind of, you could train right into the winter, really, you know, in the Astro, and we do it on a Wednesday night. So it's yeah, there's a variety of people, really.
It's brilliant, and I suppose it's a trend and a theme that we're seeing, and we would have done a couple of previous webinars as part of the SportsDirect series around that volunteer cohort that are now transitioning and maintaining their Gaelic4Mothers&Others presence, but also transitioning into other areas of the club. And it's great to hear from yourselves, you know, that the Gaelic4Mothers&Others groups are really becoming people of prominence and importance within the club setting across different areas of the club, administration or coaching as well. I suppose I was just thinking there as the two of you were talking about how much fun your sessions are, kind of reminded me of a line from one of the webinars as well, was that Gaelic4Mothers&Others is the hour in the week that you never knew you needed.
Yeah, a lot of the girls are like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that really sums up the program for me, and the people's and players' experiences around it. Sam, if I could just go to you for a second, if I was just moving to Ireland, and I was obviously eligible to play Gaelic4Mothers&Others, what would your advice to me be if I'd never seen it before and I was looking for something to do to give me an outlet?
I would say, you know, it's really community based, which is great. You meet all ages. It's friendly, it's fun. You have lots of social outings as well. So you have that socialness. So I think when you move somewhere, you have to engross in the culture as well. Don't have to be from there. So obviously you obviously learn the Gaelic, but it's all the other thing. It's about friendship, the socialness as well. You learn about the local area, and it just opens up this community that you would have never had access to either, which is great. And there's always something going on in the club as well that you can help out. So it's a great way of networking and making friends as well.
Yeah, networking, making friends, fun, everything that you would want.
Exactly. So for us, our training was cancelled on Monday because it doesn't normally rain in Wexford, but it was raining. But we had a break in the weather. Most of us met for a walk in Min Ryan Park, not only with dogs, but with our kids as well. It was like, that is our hour. We love it. Let's just go and do something.
Yeah. A whole bunch of friends that from different backgrounds who have been brought together by the one program.
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah. And I must admit, the great thing that we like about playing locally with the local teams, but the blitzes are just something else. If you've never been to a blitz, just go, because there's dressing up, there's fun, that's singing, and that is just on the coach going, let alone what's happening on the pitch. But I just think it's great because you meet ladies and you meet teams, and we've been to blitzes where some of the team members have been sick or their children have been sick, so there may have only been 3 or 4 players turn up, but they just borrow players from each team. It's great. And you meet teams again and again, and you meet other people, and then you can go into like mini blitzes and you just get to know different teams. It's just, if you ever get a chance to go to a blitz, anybody who's watching this, go and enjoy it.
Yeah. They're a sight to behold. I always.
Oh, and I must say, at the blitzes, the referees are absolutely fantastic because they're normally very fair. A lot of them are very fair, and they help you along as well. And they're just great, especially for new people like me. They give you that extra time, and they're fun. And the referees always come up and say, "I really enjoy refereeing for Gaelic for Mothers and Others," which is a great thing to hear.
The referees can have as much fun as the participants themselves.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
So Sylvia, I'm just going to jump.
Playing at the start where it's the one hop, one solo. You wouldn't know that, Sam. Now, but it would be alien to you. But for me, I did find that very strange. I think the referees were blown it a couple of times.
Yeah.
We call it go games for adults.
Go games for adults,
But again, I suppose that I'll pose the same question to you, but with a different spin on it. If you were in Croke Park Level 4 with loads and loads of former inter-county players, and you had a podium, what would be your message around the Gaelic4Mothers&Others program?
Yeah, it would be like in our group, we have a Gaelic4Mothers WhatsApp group, and it's just, if you just watch the videos, like all you have to do is just watch them once and you'd want to be there. It's just, it really is great, all fun. You don't have to have any ability of football. If you do, it's a bonus. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It's a great way of meeting people in the community, not only just for the football, but as you said, the blitzes, like we're signed up for a blitz in September in Dublin. And there's 20 allowed go to the blitz or play in the blitz, but we have a 50-seater bus going, so that just shows the amount of people who are willing to participate and want to participate. I think it sells itself, really. I don't think you have to promote it. All you need to do is go onto a Facebook page and type in Gaelic4Mothers&Others, and it'll tell you there straight away how good it is. It really is.
And the transition maybe for somebody from inter-county
it's
not that difficult.
It's fine. No. I do find myself keeping the score secret. Who's back on the field, but kind of, did we not supposed to be asking? Yeah.
No scores.
Still that bit of competitiveness on the sideline, but kind of parking around the field and just enjoy it.
Absolutely. Listen, folks, we're going to leave that there. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun in we're actually 30 minutes gone since we started talking. I had so much fun. I haven't actually stopped laughing, I don't think, since we come on. So thank you so much.
Vinny, just before we go, can I just do something for the Vols girls? Because
I know what you want to do, Sam.
Give me a Vinny, give me an O, give me an L, give me an S. It's the Vols. Thank you very much.
I knew that was coming. But come here. That's what it's about. If you were playing, and I know tonight in the capital here, there's championship club matches going on. You're not going to see that at that. You know what I mean? It's all very serious. That's what it's about, isn't it? That's the difference.
Absolutely.
And if anybody is watching this, it's fun, fitness. You make friends. You don't have to be fit. If you go into a blitz, you don't have to play all the matches. It's roll on, roll off. So please, if anybody's watching this, give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't have to come back, but you'll make some lovely friends.
You will. So listen, folks, thank you so much for joining us. If you are live, if you are watching back, thank you for taking the time to tune in and watch back. Thank you so much to my two brilliant guests. Thank you to our fantastic sponsor, SportsDirect, without whom this would not be possible. So thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I'm hopefully going to see you both at one of our festivals very, very soon.
And Sylvia, hopefully I'll meet you on the pitch.
I'll be marking you, Sam. I'll look out for you.
I'll be marking you.
And I'll be the referee.
Perfect match. Perfect.
Perfect.
Listen, thank you so much.
Okay.
On live and keep in touch.
Lovely.
Take care.
Thanks very much. Bye, guys. Bye.